The following video amplifies the voices and experiences of Māori women within traditionally male-dominated fields of engineering and engineering trades in Aotearoa, New Zealand. The video is one of the outputs of a research project titled Experiences of Indigenous Women of New Zealand, Māori in Engineering and Engineering Trades, which aim to identify the barriers that Māori women experienced and the strategies they employed which assisted them through their journey. The study is divided into 3 pivotal phases of women's lives, including background and upbringing, experiences during education, and encounters in the profession. By sharing their stories, we hope to inspire more women and girls to follow in their footsteps.
It wasn't about university for me through high school. And then, that kind of just evolved into choosing a career path that didn't stem from high school. The end of year 13 to the start of the next year, so like that summer break, I was doing work experience for just like that builder from school and a few other builders that I think I might have found them on like Trade Me Jobs or something, just people that I would just ring up builders all over Hamilton and just ask, do you need someone to like, I just want to learn how to do building. So I just rang up all these builders and I did like a few like odd days here and there. None of them were paid, like this was all just free work. And then I knew like I wasn't going to get a long-term job or an apprenticeship just working for like the odd builder, and none of them could offer me an apprenticeship down the line. So that's when I jumped into the WinTech pre-trade because it was more permanent and it was actually working towards like the certificate of carpentry, level 3. So I jumped into that. And then I stuck with it for the whole year, and then at the end of that year, my boss that I've still got now, he rang up and he wanted an apprentice, and they put 2 of us forward for a job interview, and then I ended up getting the job out of that, and I'm still with him today. So he's taken me all through my apprenticeship, and I've just been qualified since 6 months ago, so yeah. Maths wasn't my strong point at school, so it's kind of learning into that, but it's on-the-job learning, and it's the same as you'd learn how to do maths if you're doing like architecture or anything like that. They make apps and all of these things on your phone that you can just go on and put it in and it'll spit out the answer for you. But you do need to know the theory behind it, and that's just a lot of one-on-one learning with like your tutor at WinTech. They teach you all of that stuff, and it's up to you to take that on and just familiarise yourself with the methods of how to get angles and roof pitches and all that sort of thing. But it's up to you. Like if you know that maths is your weak point, then you need to work on it and to try familiarise yourself with the way that you can do maths on the job. Yeah, but a lot of the thing, like you'll get plans for a job that's all worked out for you when it gets to the builder. So it basically is putting it all together. But all the engineers and the designers and the architects, they do all the maths on their side. So one ticket would be like 3 days out there building and then 2 days in the class. So if we did 2 days of Pythagoras, then they make you do it for 3 days out in the thing, and you have to build little mini roofs using all of and you can't even use your app, you have to do it all by hand. So it is, you learn it in class and then you learn it practically as well. So I think that is done on purpose so that you can apply what you've learned in class into the real world. So that's just good, that's just a good course basically. Initially, it was more like the heavy lifting and the physical side of it. Obviously, I'm not the same build as like a male that's naturally strong. So I always thought like, I'm going to really struggle with this. But my boss that took me on, he kind of knew that, and we would figure out ways to do things without that wouldn't injure me. Like instead of, lifting something really heavy by myself, he'd come and help me. And it's just the little extra bit of help that he could give me would just save me from injury later on. And same with my apprentice now, he's not the strongest, but if we all do it together, it can get done faster, it saves us from injury. It's just working ways that it's going to protect everyone, and it's just thinking smarter about it rather than just like rushing into things and just getting it all done and not worrying about the consequences that could come from that. It is hard, but I go to the gym every night after work, and I am actively making myself stronger for my work and stuff like that. So I think the biggest challenge was like I came from Sacred Heart, which is an all-girls high school, and then I'm thrown into the construction, which is just all men, and I haven't worked with a female since I was at school. So that's quite challenging because you don't have that woman environment around you anymore, and you kind of have to adapt yourself to be with men all the time. And you can't talk to anyone about I don't talk to my boss about this stuff, but about periods or period pain and stuff like that. So it is a little bit tricky, but I mean, it's not the whole job at the end of the day. Like there is a whole lot of other things that I'm really grateful for. Like I'm able to talk to varieties of different people and people that are older than me, younger than me, and just, yeah. But other than that, it's been pretty good. Everyone has been really welcoming. I just have a really welcoming boss, and it's a family business, so they've kind of just taken me on as one of their own. But yeah, everyone's been pretty good. I haven't had a whole lot of like discrimination or sexism or anything like that, so yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I honestly don't know how I've made it this far, being around men all the time, but I think I'm just used to it now. So, and I know I'd probably struggle if I went into like an all-female environment now. You'd get used to it being there, but it is, yeah, I don't know, you just have to get through it. You just hold yourself back on some things that you say, just like they probably hold themselves back on things that they would say. Initially when my boss took me on, it was only me and him, so it wouldn't have another male apprentice at that point. So he definitely, the things that he would say, because he's only ever worked with men in his whole life as well. But I remember he told me that when he took me on, he rang up all of our plumbers out of Sparkies and stuff, and he said, "Oh, I'm hiring a female, you know, make the toilet clean, don't leave toilet paper everywhere, and like just don't make it messy, and watch what you say." So he was really considerate about that, and ever since then it's been really good. But like now that I'm just like accepted into our little group now, like they can include me more in conversations that like, I don't know, they might are like inappropriate and stuff, and they aren't regarding what I feel anymore, because I've just taken it, I've just heard everything, and if I don't like it, I just ignore it, and it is what it is. But I am the type of person, if they like give me some stick, I can give it back to them as well, but that's just who I am. And they know that, so they just do what they want with it now. Yeah, that just makes for good work chat, so yeah. I think like diversity is really good, and I know that a few clients have said that they felt comfortable when we were working in their homes because I was there, especially if like the woman is a single woman, she has to engage a builder, and it's just having men that she doesn't particularly know in her home, and she has to go to work, and then it's just strange men in her house that don't know her and stuff. And me being there can probably be quite comfortable for some women, knowing that, like, you know, it's not a, yeah, I don't know the right terminology to say it, but just stuff like that. I think it can be really comfortable for women to have other women in the trade, and it might, yeah, have some sense of security having women changing your lights for you or painting your home or stuff like that, yeah. I think that's a good advantage, yeah. And then it's kind of going to create a more positive workplace, I think. You're not going to have, I think men will like write themselves up in the industry a lot if you get like a bad client or you get things are late and stuff, and it's a lot of like testosterone and like negativity sometimes, and like women are quite good mediators, I think. But I think I would probably argue that we're like a bit more emotional than them, which can be a good thing, because we can, you know, be more emotional with the client, or it's more like understanding the client, not just, you know, being a dictator all the time, I think, yeah. So in 2021, I won the Regional Apprentice Challenge for Waikato, and then from there I went to the Nationals in Wellington, and I ended up coming second in that competition, so that was really good, yeah. I'm the only female that's ever come top 3 in a competition like that in New Zealand, for the NZCB, for the New Zealand competition, so that was really good. And it was a lot of people coming up to me, "Oh, I'm just so happy to see a female like getting an award and proving yourself," and stuff, and it was so good, because there was only two females and there was about 16 like men in the competition, so it was quite daunting going in there, because you're like, "Oh, what can I offer that all of these people can't?" But you automatically stand out because you're not a man, basically. So I think that kind of gave me the upper hand, because you already have attention on you. You don't just like are forgotten about in the big group and stuff, so that was pretty good. But yeah, a lot of people come up to me, people from like Makita, ITM, Milwaukee just come up, oh, I'm so proud of you, and like, I could see you from day one, you were just like, you stood out, and it was so good. I think I'll probably go into project management, but I'll have to go to uni, get a degree and that sort of thing. So I probably will jump into that, I'd say, in my like late 20s when I've done with my OE and overseas and stuff. Probably go into project management, or my partner's a builder, so we might start our own business. It's just depending on what one we kind of feel ourselves doing at that time. So yeah, we'll see. That's kind of my 5-year plan, but yeah, it's kind of, well, when you do project management, you're not on the tools, so I'd be completely off like on the tools and being in an office and project managing probably big commercial projects and residential projects. So yeah, that's where you can earn like the big money. So that's kind of where I want to head myself into. It is kind of common knowledge that you're going to be more respected, and if you have a background in the trade, because a lot of the people that go into project management have no idea how to actually build a house, but now they're in charge of managing big projects. And I think it's just one of those things, like you have put in the hard yards and you are a qualified builder, it gives you the upper hand in that industry. So yeah. I think the best part is seeing a project from start to finish, and just looking back and being like, wow, I actually did that. Because I always think I never would have thought I could do what I can do now 4 or 5 years ago in high school. But I can just, like, there's so much I can do now that I've just taught myself and been taught. I'm just like really proud of myself. And like winning competitions like that, it just solidifies why I just love building so much. Yeah, yeah, it's just like, I can just seeing what I can do now, it's just like this job satisfaction. I think just if it ever crosses your mind and you just second guess yourself, just think you can do it. It's a really easy trade to pick up, and I think it can excel you in so many other ways in your life. It's just building. You know, you can build your own house, you can start a business, you can train up other female apprentices. There's so many avenues in construction that can just take your career to the next level. It's not just working on site every day. There's so many things you can do. Project management, you can run job sites, you can train up people. So yeah, I think once you get your foot in the door, it can open up so many more opportunities for Māori people. So I just think it is diversity, and it's women in general coming into the trade is just really important. I think it's going to stop the stigma of building is a man's job. Building is now a woman's job. It's everyone's job. Everyone can do it. It's just super important, to uplift women, show them they can do whatever they want, I just think if you have weak points, you can definitely work on them and get through them. And I think in construction, you can work on those points and you can familiarise yourself with things and you can excel really well, no matter your academic or your physical maybe struggles. It is really good in that way. And I just think if you just stick with it, it can work out really well for you. Yeah, just talk to people and communicate and network and be honest and open about how you feel, and you just have to, it's all about that, yeah. Yeah, so the lifestyle, I think it works really well for me. Like I just work Monday to Friday and I don't really ever have to work weekends. So I really enjoy the fact that I can work just Monday to Friday, because I used to work retail in the weekends and it ruined my life. I hated it. But in saying that, the hours are long and stuff, but at the end of it, you get so much out of it. I could build my own home and I can get into the property quite well, I think. And I know a lot about the building industry, so it kind of gives you the upper hand. I'm kind of at a crossroads. I'm not sure if I want to have a family, if I don't want to have a family, but I know that if I became pregnant, I wouldn't want to go back on the tools after. I think that's kind of my sticking point, where that's when I would probably go into project management or something that's not on the tools, so that it's not going to be so hard on my body, because it is hard on my body now and I'm only 23, and I don't think it's sustainable long term to keep being on the tools and working outside and stuff. It's just not sustainable. I'm already getting injuries now that I'm if 10 years from now I can't be working like this, I'm going to burn out really fast and do some reversible damage, I think. Yeah. I think it's only now that I'm qualified that I'm living comfortably now. But those 4 or 5 years when you're an apprentice, it's definitely, you know, budgeting and money management, because you are an apprentice at the end of the day. It's just like if you're at university, you have a part-time job, it's the same thing. Like, but it is all up to your employer. If they pay you, well, normally they'll pay you what they think you're worth. Obviously you get more money the more experienced you are. So when you become like an LBP, you probably get a pay rise, and then if you start your own business, that's where the money is at, because you know you're the sole earner, and then it goes on from there. Yeah. But there is, like, when you get qualified, you'll definitely get a pay rise, and then that's when you can live comfortably, I think. Yeah, and you can start like saving like a lot more money and looking for a house and stuff like that. But when those 4 or 5 years when you're an apprentice, it's obviously not, you're not earning big bucks. You know, it's probably minimum wage, a little bit above. Yeah.